Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 156 based on novel. So let's start. Absolute beginning region. Thick mist shrouded the entire space. A huge ice planet had many broken star fragments orbiting about it, and Luo Feng's quarters was one of them. Hey, what do you think His Majesty is preparing for, since he is buying so many things? There were so many universe ships flying in these past few days. Who knows? Anyway, he has large amounts of wealth, he can buy anything he wants. A few universe soldiers stood guard about the villa and chatted while patrolling. Shut up all, don't discuss about His Majesty. In the distance a domain lord captain turned and shouted while directing the movers carrying the boxes. Yes. The guards all immediately stopped talking. Only then did that captain turn and continue with his instructions. You all, place those huge boxes over there, right? These large boxes should be put here. They are very important, be careful and lift them gently. Within the entire villa, many boxes filled with different items were actually being arranged, taking up close to over 10 kilometers of area. The nutrition cabin was placed within Luo Feng's study. Within these 3 months, Luo Feng had been bathing within it all the time. The nutrition cabin slowly opened, a nude, fit, black-haired youth emerged from the almost clear nutrition liquid, stood up and immediately stepped out. The surface of his body immediately rose in temperature, as it dried the remaining liquid. Following that, a dark red simple clothing immediately appeared and covered his body. My body is currently at universe level 9, and my spirit reading is at universe level 9 as well. Luo Feng flexed and exerted some strength. The solid muscles of his flexed with energy, causing the space around to tremor and explode. How weird. This nutrition cabin. Luo Feng turned to look at it. Within it was still a lot of the valuable liquid that he hadn't finished. In about 3 short months, I rose straight to universe level 9, essentially from the point of evolving to reaching a point of feeling full and completely satisfied. Luo Feng's body strength had already reached saturation, unable to increase anymore. Unless he broke through to domain lord level, which will allow his body to evolve more. An evolution in the basic essence of his body would be the only way to raise its strength further. Of course, if needed, Luo Feng was able to immediately raise his body to domain lord level. The only issue was that his internal world was currently only domain level 6. Hence, he was unable to evolve further directly to domain lord level 9, and could only bear with it for now. As Luo Feng walked out from his building, the waiters and guards who were busy with their work in the villa were all shocked. Your Majesty! Your Majesty! Everybody bowed respectfully. Your Majesty! Sector Lord Ao Duo also became a beam of light and flew over, bowing respectfully. Ha ha, Luo Feng looked at the large amount of shipments and laughed. So many goods these past few days, Ao Duo, sorry to trouble you. No problem. Ao Duo replied. Have all the goods arrived? Luo Feng asked. Your Majesty's orders have all arrived, everything is here. Ao Duo replied respectfully. Luo Feng nodded and his eyes gleamed as he saw the large amount goods that took up over 10 kilometers. The goods that he spent 860 mixed elements on were all here. As he knew the points were extremely valuable, he tried not to use the points as much as possible. 860 mixed elements. This amount was available for him due to the dividends he got from Ping Hai Company, especially from that huge investment. Of course, the main thing was the money remaining within the company to generate even more funds. Since Luo Feng himself had close to 1,000 mixed elements, he ended up using 860 of them at one go. With these, the golden horned beasts deities of the world 2nd level will have some progress. Luo Feng thought. These goods before him included the cloud contact vines, many nutritional items. These were the things that he prepared before heading to Blood River World. However, the most important things were still the materials for the golden horned beasts training of deities of the world. Training deities of the world had extremely high requirements, the weaker one was the easier it was to train. The first level of deities of the world was completed by Luo Feng in Primal Chaos City. This was because the golden horned beast was weaker back then. That and because Luo Feng was able to purchase many valuable materials to complete it. Many golden horned beasts only completed the first level throughout their entire lives. The second level required extremely rare materials. However, it was a pity that he was not able to afford some of the materials. This time, he spent 860 mixed elements, of which over 830 of them were used for the training materials for the second level, and this was still only the cheaper portion of the training. As for the special materials, even the treasure trove didn't have it. When it came to the expensive parts, Luo Feng couldn't afford them. The effects of deities of the world are intrepid, however the requirements are too harsh. The second level requires the Khan Luo size feathers, that alone requires 12 million. As for some items, they might as well not be in the treasure trove. Luo Feng thought, it was no wonder this technique was so hard to train. The cost for the second level to complete was extremely huge. At least, as he was only a small figure within the virtual universe company, Luo Feng still couldn't see the end in sight. Luo Feng raised his hand and had Barbata keep all the items in his storage space. The many items required at least 10 kilometers in space. However, in truth it didn't take up that much space, at least with Luo Feng's current status, buying a larger space ring was easy. Second day. Luo Feng wore black armor and boots, and carried a 6-edged shield and a blood shadow blade. These were all custom-made for his mission on Blood River World. As the cloud contact vine and quantum computer on his arm didn't fit the regulations of the world, he passed them to the Mosha clan body to wear. Of course, Barbata hid within his storage space according to Luo Feng's instructions. Barbata, you are forbidden from showing your presence in any way on Blood River Planet. The most you can do is mentally communicate with me. Damn, I've been with your teacher through so many life or death situations, relax. Barbata said. Luo Feng stood in the villa and looked at the skies engulfed in mist. Rumble, a universe ship descended from the distance on Luo Feng's star fragment. Your Majesty, be careful on your mission. Ao Duo advised respectfully. Luo Feng nodded, becoming a beam of light and flying over. Good luck, Your Majesty. Over 100 guards and 1,000 staff members all said simultaneously. The distant Luo Feng had already entered the universe ship sent by the virtual universe company and quickly vanished with the ship. Dark Universe, this fish-shaped universe ship was swiftly progressing. Your Majesty, we are heading to Blood River World. Our speed has already reached 36 times light speed, we'll arrive in about 19 hours. A purple short-haired, beautiful-looking lady with a furry tail, who appeared very serious, explained to Luo Feng. After 19 hours, I'll inform Your Majesty. Until then, you can rest. Thanks. Luo Feng nodded. After which Luo Feng sat in the sofa beside and poured himself a glass of wine. As he was tasting it, he also sent a thread of his consciousness into the virtual universe to practice the blade technique, illusionary 7 blades. Currently, every blade was already completely ingrained into his consciousness. Even so, amongst the 7 blades, his most proficient was still the Dutchman's pipe. Maybe it was because the Mosha clan was proficient in assassination, or the fact that long periods of time spent on this training move had made his comprehension of it the deepest. Hence, even Luo Feng's earth bodies too was the most proficient in the Dutchman's pipe. As he was recapping the blade work and movement, 19 hours passed quickly. Your Majesty, we'll begin universe travel quickly and return to the actual universe. The purple short-haired lady said coldly. Simultaneously the ship's control room resounded with the countdown of the universe travel. After 10 seconds, the entire ship shook slightly and became stable again. The ship had finally arrived. External simulation. The lady ordered. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed as the surrounding scenery morphed and revealed the external world's virtual simulation. So beautiful. Luo Feng was shocked. What appeared before him was the external world, which was covered in mist. It also contained all kinds of space debris, making it even more mysterious. However, in the distance was an incredibly beautiful palace that was floating in space itself. This palace is called Heaven Erosion Palace. A few of our virtual universe company absolute warriors are studying within. They are also in charge of watching over Blood River World. The purple-haired lady introduced. Within the palace not far away, there's a large empty sector. It has enough space to allow a universe ship to accelerate to universe travel. Heaven Erosion Palace, Watchtower. Luo Feng was shocked. Right? The lady nodded. The moment anyone flies out from Blood River World, they'll be discovered. If it's our people, they will naturally be safely taken in. If it's an aboriginal from Blood River World, naturally they won't fare too well. I'll send you there right away. Once you exit this ship, it isn't too far away from Blood River World. Your Majesty, Luo Feng will have to rely on your own ship. The dark purple-haired lady said. Your Majesty should have brought your own ship, right? This point was mentioned in the training mission manual. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. The cabin door opened and Luo Feng, who was dressed in a completely black armor and boots while carrying a shield and blade, flew out of the ship into space. Heaven Erosion Palace. Luo Feng stood there, staring at the distant palace. With a wave, a silver pyramid ship appeared. It was the automaton ship he had acquired on Earth. This ship was definitely a very exceptional ship. Whether it was mobility or defense, it was not bad. Ship exterior simulation. Simulate a normal meteorite fragment. Luo Feng entered the silver pyramid and ordered. Yes, master. The exterior of the ship morphed and quickly became a grey normal-looking meteorite fragment. Looking like nothing within the space, it quickly accelerated and headed towards Blood River World. Standing in the control room, Luo Feng looked ahead. In the distance was an incredibly vast continent floating in space. It was completely shrouded in clouds and the atmosphere. This was Blood River World. Another 3 hours before entering the outer atmosphere. Luo Feng nodded. Blood River World had welcomed another outsider. Blood River World was a place where the strong are like the clouds and it even had undyings. Luo Feng looked at the world closing in. I have to be extremely prudent and definitely not reveal my identity. However, it's strange. With the virtual universe's strength, clearing out the entire Blood River World should be very simple. Since they easily have such power, why did they instead choose to build a Heaven Erosion Palace to observe from space and not dominate the world? Luo Feng was suspicious. This wasn't much like the attitude of a large power in the universe. This isn't up to me to bother about. Luo Feng shook his head. 3 hours later. The automaton ship with an appearance of that of a normal meteorite finally entered the atmosphere of Blood River World. I cannot proceed further. With a thought, he flew out of the ship's cabin door and had Barbata keep the ship in his storage space. Blood River World, there are a total of 18 cloud layers. While looking at the mission's introduction, it had a general introduction of the entire world. Blood River World's atmosphere had a total of 18 cloud layers. The higher one headed, the greater the pressure would be. Only universe levels could use their bodies to pass through all 18 layers. However, the aboriginals of Blood River World at most fly up to the 18th level, not daring to go any further. Because they know that the clan outside the heavens would kill all of the Blood River aboriginals as soon as they left the world. There hadn't been anyone that had survived leaving the 18 layers and returning alive. I don't have to worry in space outside the cloud layers. However, in these cloud layers, I might meet some aboriginals. Luo Feng's full body of black armor and boots, with the blade and shield on his back, was very accurately similar to the looks of a normal Blood River World warrior. From the 18th layer, he followed the terrifyingly strong gravity and madly plunged downwards. What strong gravity? With such strong gravity, only star levels would be able to fly in this. Luo Feng calculated within. The magnetic field within a star traveler's body cannot combat this strong gravity pull at all. Luo Feng became like a shooting star plunging down from the 18th layer. His speed was rising as he went lower. Finally, he controlled and maintained a normal speed of descent. After 15 minutes of descending, he finally broke through the first cloud layer. Before him, the scenery of Blood River World finally unfolded. Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaim with shock. Right below him was an endless vast mountain range and forest. With his gaze, he was able to determine that this ancient forest had an area of at least 10,000 kilometers. At its edges one could see little silhouettes, those were the cities. The ancient forest and mountain range welcomed a guest from the heavens. While descending into the forested mountain range, this black silhouette's energy ripples immediately split apart the tree branches and leaves. He eventually slowed down and gradually landing on the rotten leaves on the ground. What terrifying gravity! For the normal people of Blood River World, to be able to withstand this pressure means that they should at least be at Star Traveler level. Luo Feng stood there and calculated in his head. The air here is produced by the universe energies, hence the air has shocking strengthening effects on the body. No wonder this Blood River World has so many strong warriors. Living in a universe secret region has caused their bodies to be extremely strong, and also made training easier than outside. However, because they are within a secret region, their fate had already been sealed. Even if they became undying, they were unable to leave the secret region to explore the vast universe. Unless the Undyings joined the virtual universe company. Luo Feng thought. However, the rotting smell and stench of this ancient forest is hard to bear. At this time, about 2,000 meters away from Luo Feng, a thick-bent tree that required 20 people to hug around was wrapped with a jade-green snake that had a human face. This weird being's face had no nose, only eyes and a mouth. She was staring through the tree's vines at the silhouette 2,000 meters away. Sila. A piercing sound seemed to pierce through Luo Feng's ears. Simultaneously, a 60m long jade-green snake person became a blur of light and appeared beside Luo Feng immediately. That mouth opened wide fiercely and a 3 to 4 meter diameter black hole opened, attempting to swallow Luo Feng. Luo Feng turned, with his eyes like a blade. He looked at the ferocious snake person creature. This creature was as tall as at least a 20-story building. Luo Feng was nothing but a dot compared to it. However, when Luo Feng looked over, that snake person's expression turned to that of shock and fear. Luo Feng snorted coldly. Rumble. That being lost all its strength in mid-air. Due to the initial inertia, it smashed into the trunk of the thick tree, before falling hard on the ground. Once its huge body landed, from the human face seeped out dark green blood from its eyes, as it lay there motionless. These are what the aboriginals of Blood River World call the wild beasts. This is nothing but a beast with a power level around star level 5 or 6. Luo Feng thought. It must have been suicidal to look for me. Luo Feng had purely used his consciousness strength to pressure it, in an instant crushing it, and causing it to faint immediately. Luo Feng's consciousness was extremely strong, as it was comparable to that of a Pinus domain lord. Consciousness pressure, this was the most obvious difference amongst those with great power. If he had used it to pressure a universe level, the most he could do was make that person feel uncomfortable. However, against a star level that was 2 levels below, with just one gaze, it caused it to immediately crumble from within. A random wild beast already has star level 5 or 6 strength. Living in a secret region, really must be blessed by heaven. Luo Feng looked in the distance. I first have to leave the forest and head to the nearest city. Only once I head to a city will I be able to quickly look for the Blood River Crystal. Blood River Crystal, it was a special treasure product of this world. Luo Feng left a blurry image and immediately vanished into the distance. At the edge of the mountain range forest, a team was heading forward. Young master, it's your first time venturing out to the wild beast forest. Don't get careless. Just exploring around the outer edges, killing the outside beasts and training will do. A strong and sturdy matured man about 1.8 m tall said with his dialect. His armor revealed his thick arms and his face was covered in beard, while his brown eyes were filled with essence. Thunder uncle, with you around, what's there to worry about? Within the team, a youth dressed in silver armor, with a purple engraving on his forehead, laughed happily and said. This youth casually carried a black bow, and on his back was a quiver with arrows. That strong and sturdy man couldn't help but smile. But with a sudden sniff, his expression changed and he said softly, everybody be careful, this should be the territory of the Mangu beast. Mangu beast. The expressions of the guards within the team became serious, however they were still relaxed. Against these wild beasts they couldn't be careless. This was a saying passed from long ago, in Blood River World. However, no matter how powerful, these guards were still clear about one thing, as long as their team was careful, killing these beasts was easy. Mangu beast. Leave it to me. The youth was very excited. Young master. Thunder uncle frowned. No problem. The youth had already drawn an arrow from the quiver. He lifted his bow, and got ready to fire. The team approached carefully. After a while, when the team moved past the plants and trees, they saw a black armored skinny youth with a shield on his back by the river. His hands held barbecued meat, which he was enjoying. At this time, a huge grey blur silhouette was heading over from the distance. This caused the entire team to jump with a shock. And the skinny youth sitting by the river seemed to detect something. He turned his head to look at the dim-witted huge grey silhouette. Looking for death. The team witnessed the scene. All the guards all knew that this stupid youth that had stumbled into the wild beast forest was definitely a punk without any experience. Otherwise, why would he stupidly look at the Mangu beast that was attacking? A true warrior would firstly prepare ahead of time, and would have moved to a favorable terrain. At least, not sitting idly by. Mangu beast is a sky-level wild beast. Thunder uncle roared. A black light immediately pierced through the air and hit the grey silhouette. That grey silhouette let out a cry of pain and immediately twisted and landed on the ground. It was a furry bastard, the only thing was that it only had one claw. However, that claw was as huge as its entire body. An arrow was lodged in its body, and red blood spurted out from the wound. The moment it landed, it let out cries of pain and angrily rushed towards the team. Shio. That silver youth's expression grew serious. The purple engraving on his forehead slightly glowed with light. His hand was like a phantom, as it swiftly drew another arrow and fired. However, the Mangu beast, which was prepared this time, twisted its body and waved its sharp claw, knocking that black light away. Roar. That strong and sturdy man brandished 2 axes from his waist and his arms fiercely crossed. Rumble. It seemed as though one axe appeared in mid-air, slashing past the body of the Mangu beast. After which, the single axe disappeared and that strong and sturdy man had already reached 10 meters behind the Mangu beast. The Mangu beast immediately fell from mid-air, splitting in two halves as fresh blood flowed from its organs. Thunder Uncle Shaw is powerful, too powerful. The silver-armored youth clapped excitedly. Don't get careless in the future. The Mangu beast has two trump cards. One is its claws, and the other is its poison breath. This Mangu beast has already reached sky level. If it gets close and releases its gas, that would be troublesome. The strong and sturdy man lectured, simultaneously instructing his guards to extract the materials and essence of the beast. Yes. The other guards immediately laughed happily and went to gather. The silver-armored youth walked towards the distant black-armored youth and smiled and waved. With a tone that was proud of his own age and experience, "Brother, where are you from?" At this time the silver-armored youth felt a sense of being a hero and savior. From his point of view, if it wasn't for his arrow, that black-armored youth would have died. Thanks. Luo Feng looked at the silver-armored youth, smiling and nodding. That Mangu beast before only had a power of star level 1 or 2. Its sneak attack was long discovered by Luo Feng, and he was preparing to turn and destroy it. But who knew that the passionate silver-armored youth would attempt to save him? However, even though the people of Blood River World worshipped strength, they still had these innocent youths. Looking at this excited silver-armored youth before him, Luo Feng felt a great sense of anticipation towards Blood River World. After a while, Luo Feng left the ancient forest with this team. No trouble at all. I guess I've trained enough, we can return. We'll go together, it'll be safer that way. The silver-armored youth was very excited as he thought about it. This black-armored skinny youth before him was obviously one with less experience, and if he went out to explore by himself he might die. Since he was returning to home, they might as well bring him along. The feeling of saving someone feels good. The silver-armored youth thought. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Eneku, and you? The silver-armored youth smiled and looked at Luo Feng. I'm called Feng. Luo Feng replied. Feng. The silver-armored youth nodded, exclaiming, good name. Big Brother Feng is obviously older, I'll call you Big Brother then. When we return to our Swallow Mound city, if you have time, I'll show you around. I grew up in the city after all. Swallow Mound. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. According to the Virtual Universe Company's information, even though it was pretty detailed, however Blood River World was after all too vast a world. There was no way for it to explain everything. It could only give a brief introduction of everything. At the same time, if they explained too much about many of the secrets, it wouldn't have the same training effect on the core members. According to the information, in Blood River World, the native strength was separated into ground level, sky level, clouds level, domain level, world level, undying spirit. It actually coincided with the universe's star traveler level, universe, domain lord, sector lord and undying level. And the cities of Blood River World were mainly separated into territorial cities, or world cities. The territorial city was the core of a territory. Every leader of these territories were definitely a domain level, domain lord. The world cities were the core of the world, and the leaders of these were definitely sector lords. In the vast Blood River World, every world city had a diameter of hundreds of millions of kilometers, or even billions of kilometers. The population ranged in the trillions or more. In Blood River World, there were over 10 million world cities. Above these world cities there were even the Undying Palaces. The Undying Palaces are high in ranking and they normally didn't interfere with the normal matters of Blood River World. It looks like the place that I descended belongs to the Swallow Mound territory. Luo Feng thought within. Swallow Mound Territorial City should be a core city within the surrounding 10 million kilometers, and the city leader is most probably a domain lord warrior. I require Blood River crystals. However, the information given by the Virtual Universe Company never explained anything about the crystals. It only states that the crystals were treasures of the world. Any idiot would know they were treasures. The Virtual Universe Company already called this huge continent Blood River. Wouldn't the Blood River crystal be extremely important? Luo Feng calculated within. The Blood River World had long had their own word system. Once I enter the city, there should be some books in the city that I can buy. I'll find out the details of the crystals through these books. Through enchantment and several techniques, he could interrogate others. However, asking them wouldn't be as detailed as reading the books. A territorial city, with an area of 10 million kilometers, would definitely be advanced and would have what he needed. In advanced places, currency is definitely important. The materials I got from hunting the beasts should be worth quite a bit. Luo Feng Long had a plan of what he needed to do. He was an outsider after all. His identity had to be kept secret. Since he had just entered Blood River World, it was better to remain low profile. This was also why when he first landed in the forest, he didn't fly straight towards the city, as hunting and acquiring materials in the forest could get him some money. And that 10,000 kilometers area forest could only be considered a normal wild beast forest. The beasts were at most star level 8 or 9. There wasn't a single universe level. The silver-armored youth chatted with Luo Feng, as the tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle and the other guards all stared at them. This dumb little punk must be extremely lucky to have our group of brothers protect him. The young master is too kind. If it were me, I couldn't be bothered. Hee, brothers, speaking about it, just now we saw this Feng turn stupidly around at the Mangu beast flying over at him. His face was filled with shock and fear. I can't help but laugh at that scene. Ha, I really don't know how this stupid punk dares to enter the wild beast forest. Luckily we were only on the outer regions and haven't met any powerful wild beasts, otherwise he would have become their sheet long ago. The guards chatted behind. Shut up. The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle ordered. The group of guards immediately stopped. Be careful, even though we are already on the way back, there's still thousands of kilometers to go. There's usually bandits about. Captain, with you around, which small bandit would dare approach us? Yeah, that will be suicide. The tall and sturdy man glanced at Luo Feng. Towards this stranger that they saved along the way, he remained wary. The young master's kind heart made him helpless. Because he was very clear that this was a world that favored the strong. All sorts of scheming, backstabbing and slaughter happened all the time. Having a kind heart was disadvantageous to the young master in such a world. The master spoils the young master too much. He wants to wait till the young master matures before letting him taste some hardship. The tall and sturdy man shook his head. In the vast flat land road ahead, a blur of people were cheering and swiftly progressing. It was Luo Feng and the silver-armored youth group, who were heading back as they were chatting and cheering. As they maintained their speed at 1,000 km/h, to the ground-level fighters, it was very relaxing. Look, ahead it's our Swallow Mound territorial city. We are only about 1 hour away from it. The silver-armored youth gazed ahead at the large blurred silhouette of the city. He spoke with the native tongue and dialect. Although Luo Feng too used the same dialect, the accent however was not as precise. Rumble. Luo Feng's little team that was progressing felt ripples coming from the ground. As they looked back, they saw a vast black shadow swiftly rushing towards them. Everybody else couldn't see it with their eyes, however Luo Feng could see with one glance it was a huge team chasing them. They all rode different types of beasts. These tamed beasts, some were huge while others small, some had wings on their backs. Among the differences, the one thing they had in common was that their speeds were extremely fast. Tamed beasts. Luo Feng could recognize in one glance some of the beasts were similar to those he had hunted in the forest before. Let's make way. The tall and sturdy man communicated to the others. Immediately the team headed to the side of the road. The large team with hundreds of beasts ran over swiftly. The beasts' hooves and sharp claws pierced into the ground, causing dust to fly all over and immediately settled back down again due to the strong gravity. Ha, isn't this young master Eneku? An ear-piercing laugh resounded like a tornado about. The large team that rushed over suddenly stopped and simultaneously tens of them flew over to where Luo Feng's team was. In the blink of an eye, these fighters had already reached before them. The leader of this team was a tall and handsome youth. He was riding what seemed like a tiger dressed fully in armor, however it was at least 10 m long. The leader was looking at Eneku, his face proud and satisfied. Yu Fang. The silver-armored youth's expression changed. Is the genius archer afraid? The tall and handsome youth's expression slowly turned cold. With a snort, you didn't expect me to catch you outside the city, right? Young Master Yu Fang. A booming voice resounded. The tall and sturdy man took a step forward, gazing at the tall and handsome youth group and saying seriously, my family's master and the Yu family have some connections and relationships. I hope young master you won't do anything rash. I'm speaking right now, did I say it was your place to speak? The tall and handsome youth angrily roared and his expression pained. Get lost. Yu Fang, you shut up. The silver-armored youth roared. Ha, pure and kind Eneku, haven't you grasped the situation yet? Outside the city, your father cannot come save you. The tall and handsome youth's expression was struggled. The muscles in his face twitched and his eyes resembled a venomous snake staring coldly. I haven't forgotten how you humiliated me half a year ago. Beside them, Luo Feng frowned. The enemy's party was obviously superior. The large group behind this Yu Fang was made up of just the 10 underlings alone. There was 1-star level 9 and 9-star level 7 or 8s. And this side? Eneku's strongest warrior, that Thunder Uncle, was only a star level 6 or 7. We are in big trouble. The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle was worried within. The warriors in this team have about half of the Yu family's strongest. So many strong warriors following a little kid out seems strange. Captain, what do we do? Captain, behind that young Master Yu, there's that dripping blood blade warrior, who is one of their 3 strongest in the family. He's a sky-level pinnacle warrior. Just him alone would be enough to decimate us. The team was flustered. The silver-armored youth's eyes contracted. He stared angrily at the young master on the beast and roared, "Yu Fang, whatever you have, just bring it at me." Ah, just like a true warrior. What a presence. The tall and handsome youth snorted and laughed, following which his expression changed and he roared, "Men, teach a good lesson to this group of people. However, don't kill them. Our Yu Fang ain't that vicious. Also, grab the Eneku and tie him up. I want to bond with him well." Yes. The group of warriors on the beasts replied together. The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle along with the other guards all brandished their weapons together. The young master on the beast laughed coldly. "Whoever resists, kill immediately. Of course, don't kill young master Eneku. After all, he's my good brother that I grew up with. Go." Immediately the group of intrepid warriors flew from the backs of the beasts and headed towards Eneku's little team. Luo Feng stood beside that silver-armored youth and frowned. He had just landed in Blood River World, he didn't wish to cause a commotion. Ha ha. Kill anyone who resists. That group of warriors all laughed madly and flew over. Especially the skinny man dressed in a blood-red armor carrying 2 dark red blades. He gazed at the guard team of the silver-armored youth, his gaze focusing on the tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle. On this side, the tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle and the guards had ugly expressions. They wanted to retaliate, but didn't dare to. The silver-armored youth Eneku could only grit his teeth with rage. Rumble. The group of warriors flying over along with Skinny Man suddenly all stopped. Get lost. Almost like Thunder God's roar, the 10 before them felt it reverberate within their minds. Like a terrifying pressure descending on them, they all felt a sense of pressure they couldn't resist. It was the type of pressure that was about to destroy them. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. That roar resounded within their minds. The group of warriors immediately descended from mid-air and didn't attack. Let's go. The skinny man gazed at the silver-armored youth's team and ordered. Let's go. The youth too shouted, staring at the silver-armored youth Eneku. Looking at the previously arrogant and proud team suddenly turn and leave, Eneku and his underlings, even Thunder Uncle were all left stunned and suspicious. Why have they left? This. They are just leaving. The guards couldn't believe they had just escaped this crisis. Impossible. The silver-armored youth stared wide-eyed. "Yu Fang, that bastard isn't that kind to just let me go. There's a strong warrior secretly helping us." The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle said softly, and he was very sure of it. Strong warrior. The group of guards including Eneku looked curiously at the tall and sturdy man. "Thunder Uncle, you say there's someone else?" The silver-armored youth was suspicious. Thunder Uncle nodded, emphasizing, "There are 3 possibilities. The first one is the master, he's always spoiled you. He may have arranged an absolute warrior to protect you secretly." At this, the guards around all nodded. Even Eneku, who was suspicious initially, started to believe him after a while. The second is that a mysterious absolute warrior is helping us secretly. Thunder Uncle said, "The third one is that someone from the Yu family's team is helping us." The first and second made sense, but you said someone from the Yu family is helping us. Eneku was shocked. "Captain, that can't be." The group of guards couldn't believe it. "Haven't you discovered? The 10 that headed over here before alone had dripping blood blade and the 9 great guards." The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle emphasized. Looking at the distant large team, the team had more than 100 people, but just the 10 were that strong. Of the rest of them, there should still be many other powerful warriors. If it weren't something important, they definitely wouldn't have sent out so many strong warriors. Who knows, within the team was the true leader of the group. Thunder Uncle said seriously. They had urgent matters to do. Having such altercations while they had matters to do was the worst thing they'd wish for. That leader may have been dissatisfied and ordered all of them to return. Makes sense. The group of guards nodded. Thunder Uncle is very impressive. The silver-armored youth Eneku complimented while laughing. However, I'm still curious as to the large number of strong warriors, and many of the warriors were from other powers. Such a strong team, what were they doing? Thunder Uncle frowned. Even if the family leader came out, he wouldn't bring so many warriors. Right? Must be something very important. Yu Fang was swiftly taking his men to rejoin the large group. Third uncle, just what warrior was secretly helping them before? Aren't you a match for him? Yu Fang looked at the skinny man beside him. That skinny man was one of the Yu Fang family's top 3 warriors. With the name dripping blood blade Yu Yangta, he was a star level 9 absolute warrior, strong even amongst those of the same level. The skinny man, Yu Yangta's eyes twitched as they were filled with fear. He said, Yu Fang, that secret warrior was extremely strong. If he didn't control himself not to kill anyone, I'd already be dead. What? Yu Fang's eyes stared wide. My god. Yu Fang was a land-level, star traveler, warrior. So, he could definitely feel the danger. However, his third uncle was the sky-level, star-level, pinnacle warrior. If even he felt that the enemy could easily kill him without even making a move, then that secret warrior must be terrifyingly strong. Just what level was that person? Cloud level? Yu Fang shook his head. Even a cloud level wouldn't be that strong. Cloud levels aren't that strong. A cloud level couldn't simply just use his consciousness to pressure us and make us unable to resist. The skinny man Yu Yangta nodded, saying, I estimate, the secret warrior should be a domain level. Looking at how he could immediately pressure the group and not kill them, his control of his pressure is very precise and controlled. He must be pretty powerful even amongst the domain levels. Domain level. Yu Fang was stunned. Swallow Mound had an area of 10 million with a population in the trillions. Swallow Mound's leader was a domain level, domain lord. At this level, he was already an absolute being within Swallow Mound territory. There wasn't any family that could mess with him. He could simply make a move and destroy the families. That punk Eneku, how did he find such a powerful being to protect him? Yu Fang couldn't believe it. Yu Fang. Your group hurry and return to the team, don't waste time. Yangta, we are using our full force this time. Don't you know the importance of what we are doing? You even went to waste time with that little kid Yu Fang. HMPH. An old voice resounded within their minds. Uncle, we have matters to report. Yu Yangta communicated. Speak. Uncle, when we went over to teach that NA family young master a lesson, we discovered one thing. There was a terrifying domain-level warrior behind that NA coup. Domain level. That firm old voice suddenly stuttered. Yes. How much guarantee do you have it's a domain level? That old voice couldn't believe it. Have you made a mistake? 99% sure. To be able to use only consciousness pressure to make us all crumble and unable to resist, only domain levels could do that. Yu Yangta reported respectfully. Who is it? The old voice asked nervously. A domain level can completely change the power hierarchy within a territory. If it's a powerful domain level, domain lord, then he would be able to even get rid of the current leader and acquire the God Palace's recognition. At that point, he can immediately become the new city leader. Not clear, maybe he was hiding within his team, or he was somewhere we couldn't see. He was way stronger than us. Hence, I couldn't be sure. Yu Yangta said. We have to sort this out clearly when we return. But, first let's return to the city. Yes. The vast team from the Yu family swiftly progressed. A possible domain-level warrior alone had made the upper echelons all flustered, as messing with a domain level was simply suicide. About 800 kilometers outside of Swallow Mound City, the vast road pierced right through the large mountain. This mountain was split in half, forming a canyon. It seemed like a normal enough canyon. At this time, there were silhouettes walking at the peak of the mountain that was split apart by a strong warrior. There were a total of 13 people. All of them were dressed in armor wearing helmets, revealing only their eyes. On their backs they carried 1 or 2 axes, or single huge axes. Their armors were made up of black, blood red and gold colors. Big brother, they've come. The Yu family team is here. The one leading was huge in stature. Dressed in gold armor, his blood red eyes gazing through the helmet, filled with cold, roaring, brothers, go, grab the goods. Rumble. 13 silhouettes rushed from the peaks like bullets fiercely shooting downwards. When the 13 silhouettes swiftly descended, they immediately aroused the attention of the vast team flying over. The leader of the team was an old man with a black beard. He raised his right hand, roared, stop. The vast path ahead had only the 13 silhouettes. 13, like 13 devils standing there. 10, 13, the black-bearded old man's face went pale. 13 axe. At the forefront of the team, the skinny man beside the black-bearded old man, Yu Yangta's expression went pale too. Why have they come? It can't be. Within Swallow Mound territory, there were a few strong heroes who were extremely powerful. Much stronger than these business families. For example, this 13 axe was made up of 13 powerful warriors with similar interests that formed the group. There were no underlings in the group, just these 13. However, just which family actually dared to mess with Swallow Mound's 13 axe? What was it based on? Within these 13 axes, there were 3 cloud levels. And 10 pinnacle sky levels. Domain level, Domain Lord, that was the dominating strength in the entire Swallow territory. Controlling the entire territory. Cloud level, Universe level, these were considered the pinnacle fighting strength within the territory, as they were very powerful. What do we do? What do we do? We cannot lose these goods. The large U family was shocked. Lords of the 13 axe, whatever orders you have, please speak. The black-bearded old man was apprehensive within. His appearance, however, was still strong and proud as he shouted. You family. A soft voice resounded from the 13 demons standing before them. The leader said, hand over the armor from the ancient ruins, we'll spare your lives. The black-bearded old man stared. Run. The black-bearded old man's expression was struggling as he communicated to his team. Rumble. The entire team seemed like they were prepared. Immediately the group of sky levels, star level, madly rushed in all directions. Large amounts of the ground level swiftly flew and fled too, be it climbing the mountains or following along the path backwards. The skinny man, Yang Ta too, followed the pack backwards. Yang Ta, quickly go to where that NA family punk is. If that domain level being is there, our U family still has some hope. The black-bearded old man roared and communicated to them. Yes, uncle. The skinny man replied. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.